Periva Forum. Today we are going to learn the 29th sloka of Soundarya Lahari. As usual, we will first recite the 26th, 27th and 28th sloka once and then go into the learning of 29th sloka.
विरिञ्चिः पञ्चत्वम् व्रजति हरिराप्नोति विरतिम् विनाशं कीनाशः भजति धनदो याति निधनम् वितन्द्री माहेन्द्री विततिरपि सम्मीलितदृशा महासंहारेऽस्मिन् विहरति सति त्वत्पतिरसौ जपो जल्पशिल्पम् सकलमपि मुद्रा विरचना गतिः प्रादक्षिण्यक्रमणम् अशनाद्याहुतिविधिः प्रणामः संवेशः सुखमखिलमात्मार्पणदृशा सपर्यापर्यायः तव भवतु यन्मे विलसितम् सुधामप्यास्वाद्य प्रतिभयजरा मृत्युहरिणीम् विपद्यन्ते विश्वे विधिशतमखाद्यादिविशदः कराळम् यक्ष्वेळम् कबलितवतः कालकलना न शम्भोस्तन्मूलम् तव जननिताटङ्कमहिमा.
Now we are going to learn the 29th sloka.
किरीटं वैरिञ्चम्
किरीटं वैरिञ्चम् किरीटं वैरिञ्चम्
परिहरपुरः कैटभभिदः
परिहरपुरः कैटभभिदः परिहरपुरः कैटभभिदः
कठोरे कोटीरे
कठोरे कोटीरे कठोरे कोटीरे
स्खलसि जहिजं भारिमकुटम्
स्खलसि जहिजं भारिमकुटम् स्खलसि जहिजं भारिमकुटम्
प्रणम्रेष्वेतेषु
प्रणम्रेष्वेतेषु प्रणम्रेष्वेतेषु
प्रसभमुपयातस्य भवनम्
प्रसभमुपयातस्य भवनम् प्रसभमुपयातस्य भवनम्
भवस्याभ्युत्थाने
भवस्याभ्युत्थाने भवस्याभ्युत्थाने
तव परिजनोक्तिर्विजयते
तव परिजनोक्तिर्विजयते तव परिजनोक्तिर्विजयते
किरीटं वैरिञ्चं परिहरपुरः कैटभभिदः
किरीटं वैरिञ्चम् परिहरपुरः कैटभभिदः किरीटं वैरिञ्चम् परिहरपुरः कैटभभिदः
कठोरे कोटीरे स्खलसि जहिजं भारिमकुटम्
कठोरे कोटीरे स्खलसि जहिजं भारिमकुटम् कठोरे कोटीरे स्खलसि जहिजं भारिमकुटम्
प्रणम्रेष्वेतेषु प्रसभमुपयातस्य भवनम्
प्रणम्रेष्वेतेषु प्रसभमुपयातस्य भवनम् प्रणम्रेष्वेतेषु प्रसभमुपयातस्य भवनम्
भवस्याभ्युत्थाने तव परिजनोक्तिर्विजयते
भवस्याभ्युत्थाने तव परिजनोक्तिर्विजयते भवस्याभ्युत्थाने तव परिजनोक्तिर्विजयते
किरीटं वैरिञ्चं परिहर पुरः कैटभभिदः कठोरे कोटीरे स्खलसि जहिजं भारिमकुटम्
किरीटं वैरिञ्चं परिहर पुरः कैटभभिदः कठोरे कोटीरे स्खलसि जहिजं भारिमकुटम् किरीटं वैरिञ्चं परिहर पुरः कैटभभिदः कठोरे कोटीरे स्खलसि जहिजं भारिमकुटम्
प्रणम्रेष्वेतेषु प्रसभमुपयातस्य भवनम् भवस्याभ्युत्थाने तव परिजनोक्तिर्विजयते
प्रणम्रेष्वेतेषु प्रसभमुपयातस्य भवनम् भवस्याभ्युत्थाने तव परिजनोक्तिर्विजयते प्रणम्रेष्वेतेषु प्रसभमुपयातस्य भवनम् भवस्याभ्युत्थाने तव परिजनोक्तिर्विजयते
किरीटं वैरिञ्चं परिहर पुरः कैटभभिदः कठोरे कोटीरे स्खलसि जहिजं भारिमकुटम् प्रणम्रेष्वेतेषु प्रसभमुपयातस्य भवनम् भवस्याभ्युत्थाने तव परिजनोक्तिर्विजयते
किरीटं वैरिञ्चं परिहर पुरः कैटभभिदः कठोरे कोटीरे स्खलसि जहिजं भारिमकुटम् प्रणम्रेष्वेतेषु प्रसभमुपयातस्य भवनम् भवस्याभ्युत्थाने तव परिजनोक्तिर्विजयते किरीटं वैरिञ्चं परिहर पुरः कैटभभिदः कठोरे कोटीरे स्खलसि जहिजं भारिमकुटम् प्रणम्रेष्वेतेषु प्रसभमुपयातस्य भवनम् भवस्याभ्युत्थाने तव परिजनोक्तिर्विजयते.
Now we will see the meaning of the 29th shloka. So far, in most of the shlokas, before going into the meaning of the words line by line, we have tried to give a context or set a context through which we can understand the shloka better. But here in this shloka, we are first going to understand the meaning of the first few words of the first line, where Acharya is trying to bring before our eyes a dramatic effect, and we will be able to understand it better that way. For this, we will be learning the meaning of the first line, and then we will add some context to the shloka. This shloka is a very easy one, but it has lot of inner meanings and an advice to us as well. The first line is Kiritam Vairincham Parihara Puraha Kaita Babidaha. Kiritam means a crown. Vairincham means there is a person called Virinchi and the crown of that Virinchi. By now, we all know that Virinchi means Brahma. Acharya have been using this word to denote Brahma in many places in Soundarya Lahari itself. Our Periyava has given as to why this word has been used by Acharya instead of the word Brahma. He says that there is a special root for this word Virinchi, which is Viseshena Rinchati. Here, Rinchati means to create or to do Srishti. A V is added before this Rinchati, and this V means it is a very special thing. It is not just any simple creation. It is something very special because anyone other than Brahma cannot do this kind of a Srishti or creation. Today, we are trying out a lot of things in laboratories, but until now, no one is successful in bringing out such a complex being like us into this world. So that is why it is called as a special creation. He has not created only us, thousands and billions of creations or living things which all have a unique identity. Within human beings itself, we say there are 7 people who look alike. But actually, if we see, their fingerprints will not be alike. Each one of them will have different fingerprints. We see that today, most of our security systems are based on our fingerprints. And we can say that the most secure form of authentication is our biometrics, which is given by God. Such is the special creation of Brahma, and that is why Viseshena Rinchati is Virinchi and it refers to Brahma, and that is why Acharya has also used his very unique name in Soundarya Lahari. Now again to the shloka. Kiritam Vairincham. So the crown of Virinchi. Next words are Parihara Puraha. Here Puraha means is in front. That is something that we are able to see in front of our eyes. Parihara means to avoid or to keep away from it. So the first few words of the first line mean that the crown of Brahma is lying over there or in the front and you please avoid it. This is where Acharya brings out a dramatic effect, and that is also as usual shown by Periva. Here we might have a question as to who is saying this to whom. It is who is asking whom to avoid or to be careful about the crown of Brahma which is lying over there. We will have to enjoy the shloka with this question itself. Now, with the help of the previous few shlokas, we will get into the context of the shloka, where in the few slokas before, we had explained that Ambal is the Janani of Trimurtis. Apart from that, she is also the grandmother of all these Trimurtis. And in another shloka, we had also explained about the Panchakritya Parayana, where all the devatas, including Hari, Yama, Rudra, everyone gets destroyed or they cease to exist. only Ambal and Parameshwara are there. And to this all-powerful Ambal, in one of the other shlokas, Japo Jalpaha Shilpam, Acharyal prays that anything that he speaks should be the praise of Ambal or the japa of Ambal's Nama. And in the previous shloka that we learnt, that is 28th shloka, we saw that all the devatas who even after having the Amrita, which is supposed to be the elixir of life, which gives them eternal life, they also cease to exist, but only your husband, who even after consuming a very, very dangerous poison, he does not die, or he always remains, and that too it is because of your Tatanka Mahima. If we carefully analyze the series of last few shlokas, we see that all these devatas, including Brahma, have been established to have some kind of death, or sometime they will cease to exist. So what will be these devatas thinking within themselves? They will think that even after consuming this Amritam, we are vulnerable to death, or we are just like mere mortals. What is the way out of this will be their thought process. Whom should we go and pray to so that we can fix this problem of being just like mere mortals who die? What they will do? They will go to a higher power. And who else could it be? It will be Ambal only, because Acharya has established that Ambal is the Janani of all the Devatas, including the Trimurtis. So, they will go naturally to her only in order to get a fix for this problem. These Devatas are fortunate enough to at least recognize that she is the mother of all and everything, and even to them. But we here in this world do not realize this. We have forgotten that Ambal is the mother of everyone here, and we forget to worship her. We forget that as a mother, if we surrender ourselves to her, she will be doing everything that is required for us. But fortunately, Devatas know that she is the mother of everything, and they go and surrender to her, and they fall at her feet. They must have realized that a small pot of nectar or amrita that they received is nothing before the sea or ocean of amrita that is created by Ambal herself. Lalitha Sahasranamam declares that she lives in the middle of Sudasagaram Madhyastha, and from where it comes, it originates from Ambal herself only. So, instead of going behind a small pot of nectar, they realize that it is better to fall in the feet of the person who is the actual creator of this nectar herself. So, they have come to the abode of Ambal for what? To surrender themselves into the feet of Ambal, because they feel it is a very complex process where they cease to exist, again coming back, and all these things. And apart from birth and death, anyway, anyone who is born is bound to die. But that is not a problem here. But they want to reside always with Ambal. That is, they want to attain the highest position of Advaita, which is Sayujyam. That is being one with Ambal herself. So, to achieve it, they have come to her abode and they have come to surrender themselves to Ambal. So, when you completely surrender yourself, what you do? You go and fall into the feet of that person. That is how all devatas, including Brahma, has surrendered themselves and fallen at the feet of Ambal. Who are all the other devatas? That is going to come in the next few lines. This is the background with which we are going to go inside the meaning of the shloka. Now we have to picturize this situation where Ambal is sitting as the sovereign power in her Simhasanam, that is the throne, in her abode, and all these devatas have come and they have fallen at the feet of Ambal. At that time, someone is telling Brahma's crown is lying over there, so be careful. When Ambal is sitting in her throne, why are they going to say this? It is because she has got up from her throne and she is walking. Only then she has to be careful about the crown that is lying in the front on her path. With this context and picture in mind, we will go into the beautiful meaning of the other lines. We have completed only half of the first line. The next words of the first line are Kaitababitaha. Kaitaban is Madhukaitapa Asuras. These Asuras were destroyed or killed by Mahavishnu. The story of Madhukaitaba has been explained in detail in our Lalitha Sahasranamam expositions, which is available in Kanchi Periva Forum YouTube channel. Here we are going to give a very crisp version of the story. Madhukaitaba are two asuras who are born from the earwax of Mahavishnu. What they do? They come to haunt Brahma to achieve their ill objective. So Brahma goes to Mahavishnu to escape from this situation. But he sees that Mahavishnu is in Yoga Nidra, and therefore he then prays to Ambal to solve this problem. Why? Because Ambal is the Mahamaya and she is also the Nidra Devi and she controls the Maya Shakti. So when Brahma prays to Ambal and with her power, Ambal removes the Maya of Nidra, allowing Mahavishnu to start the war against these people. Finally, after a long war, Mahavishnu tears apart these asuras. That is what is given by the word bit, which means tearing apart. Hence, he is referred as the one who tore apart the Kaidaban. Kaidaba bit. Here we have to note that Acharya has specifically used this Nama to refer to Mahavishnu. Why? Because of all the story that we told before, where Ambal's Leela or power is involved in removing the Maya of Mahavishnu's Yoga Nidra. And therefore, to bring this story into our mind, Acharya has specifically used this Nama. Here, the second person who is falling at the feet of Ambal is Mahavishnu. That is what is going to come in the second line. Now we will go to the second line. Kathore kotire skhalasi jahi jambhari makutam. Kathore means a very hardened. It is very strong, we can say. It is not very flimsy. Generally, now when we do some ornaments, it is very flimsy because we don't use metals inside the ornament. Instead, it is left to be only empty space and only the outer part of it is made. But here, it is said it is very hard. The crown, kotire, means crown. So, katore, kotire, the crown is very hard. Whose crown is very hard? The crown of Mahavishnu that we saw in the previous line. The crown of Mahavishnu, which is very, very hard. Why it is very hard? Acharya gives the answer for this in another slokam of his, which is Vishnupadadi Keshanta Stotram, where he says Krutamakuta Mahadevalinga Pratishte. This is shown by our Periyava and he quotes it in one of his discourses. What does this mean? Periva says that the crown that is worn by Mahavishnu is actually in the form of Mahadeva or is in the form of Lingam. So if it is in the form of a Lingam, it cannot be empty inside. It has to be a solid one. So that is why Acharya has used Katore here to refer to the crown of Mahavishnu. Kotire, as told earlier, means a crown. This word we have seen it in another sloka, but we generally don't remember it. It comes in Lalita Sahasranamam, Kuruvinda Manishreni Ganatkotira Mandita, which means Ambal is wearing a crown which is studded with a lot of gemstones, ratnas. The same word here, Kotiram, means crown. But this crown is said to be very hard, very heavy. It is lying before you and you start to walk. If it is light, nothing will happen. Only the crown will move away. But because it is very heavy, you will trip and fall down. Or you might get hurt. That is what is given in the next word. Skhalasi means you will trip, you will fall down, or you will get hurt. Katore kotire skhalasi. The crown that is very hard, on that you will trip. The next words are Jahi Jambhari Makutam. Here, Jambhari can be split as Jambha plus Ari. Jambha is Jambhasuran. Ari means enemy of this Jambhasuran. We have seen this word Ari in many other words like Murari, Purari, etc. So, Ari means enemy. Jambhari means enemy of Jambhasuran, which is Indra. Jambhari Makutam. So, Indra's crown is what is identified here with Jambhari Makutam. Before these two words, there is another word, Jahi, which also means avoid or to go away from it. If we see this all together, before Ambal, whose Makuta or crown are all there? First line we saw the Makutam of Virinchi, that is Brahma, who is doing Namaskaram to Ambal. In the next line, the crown of Mahavishnu and the crown of Indra are also lying. And when Ambal is walking, others are saying, please be careful, do not fall or trip or get yourself hurt. Who are these people who are saying to her? That is coming in the next line. And we will also wonder what Ambal is doing like that, so that these people are telling her to be careful. All that is coming in the next lines. The third line is Pranam Reshveteshu Prasabha Mupayatasya Bhavanam. In this, we will know why these crowns are all lying down. Pranam Reshveteshu. It is split as Pranam Reshu Eteshu. Pranamam means something that is related to doing Namaskara. Eteshu means all these people or all these gods who we have mentioned earlier in the first two lines. So all these gods, we can also be reminded of another sloka where Acharya says, Mukunda Brahmendra Sputamakuta Nirajita Padam, which means the gemstones that are studded in the crowns of Mukunda, that is Mahavishnu, Brahma and Indra, are as if they are showing Nirajanam, that is Arati to Ambal's lotus feet. Here it goes one more step further and it says those crowns have fallen down. So they have been bending their heads for so long that their crowns have fallen out of their heads. That is what is said in the words Pranam Reshu Eteshu. When we say that together, it becomes Pranam Reshveteshu. Here we will take a minute to understand this situation. The Devatas, they know that Ambal is the only power or the power who is above all other gods. They have understood this. Because they understand it, every day and always they will be doing Namaskara or paying their respects to her always. But now there is a different situation or a special situation that is being told here. What is that special occasion? That comes in the next words. Prasabham upayatasya bhavanam. Prasabham means to be in hurry or instinctively. Upayatasya bhavanam. Upayatasya means to return back, coming back from somewhere. Bhavanam is your place, abode. Here, this prasabham can imply two meanings. One is Ambal is in a hurry, someone is coming, and Ambal is in a hurry. Second meaning is the person who is coming back is in a hurry, or he is coming back suddenly. Now we will go to the next line. Bhavasyabhyuttane tava parijanoktir vijayate. Someone has left and is coming back home. And who is that? That is denoted by Bhavasyabhyuttane. Bhavasya. Bhavan is a very special nama of Lord Shiva, and Ambal is called as Bhavani. Let us imagine a scenario that generally happens in our households. The husband in the house leaves outside for some work. After some time, he might be returning back. Either he would have finished the work and would be returning back in a hurry to tell about the work that has been completed to his wife, or maybe he would have forgot something and he would have come back in a hurry to pick it up. These two scenarios are there. But we cannot apply the same scenario to Ambal because she is not like any other mortal person like us. She is the Maharagni, the all-powerful empress of this universe. She will have a lot or innumerable servants to serve her. We should not underestimate that these women who are servants to Ambal are just servants. They are the protectors and gatekeepers of Ambal, who is the supreme and sovereign power. So we must imagine how much of power they will have, and no one can enter Ambal's abode without their permission. So in this scenario, these servants and gatekeepers are keeping a very close watch on who is entering Ambal's palace. And at the same time, Ambal is being worshipped by all these devatas, including Brahma, Vishnu and Indra, who are doing namaskaram to Ambal. At this situation, where Ambal as Maharagni is seated in her throne and is providing anugraham to all these devatas, her husband, Bhavan, is suddenly and hurriedly coming back to this place. This is the scene that we will have to conceptualize. We would generally think that Ambal, being such a sovereign power and doing her duty of providing anugraham to everyone, she could have remained at the same place to finish her duty and then look at what her husband Bhavan has come in so hurriedly for. Ambal is the sovereign power, Maharagni, and a supreme power that controls everything. But still, she is the foremost of all pativratas. It is the pativrata dharmam which is the most important, and therefore, when she sees her husband hurrying back, she gets up quickly and goes towards him in a hurry in order to greet him and to do namaskara to him. We can see that so many devatas are doing namaskara to Ambal, but when she glimpses that her husband is returning back hurriedly, she goes to greet him and do namaskaram to her husband. That is what is given by Acharya in the word abhyuttane, which means to rise in honor. So when she sees that her husband is coming back hurriedly, she in a hurry quickly rises from her throne and goes to greet him and do namaskaram to her husband. This is when these servants and gatekeepers are seeing that Ambal is in a hurry and hastily not looking at all those who are doing namaskaram to her, and she might fall and trip over their crowns. That is why the first two lines are being structured as if it is being told by these servants to be careful to Ambal when she is hurrying hastily when she sees her husband. Bhavasyabhyuttane tava parijanoktir vijayate. Here we have seen Bhavasyabhyuttane, The next word is tava is your parijanoktihi, which is split as parijanaha plus uktihi. Here, parijana means a group of servants. We can say innumerable servants or a big group of female servants. In this context, uktihi means the words or their statements. Vijayate. In the context of this sloka, here we have to take the meaning as their statements stand out as the most significant. Why is it like that? Why is it the most significant? Or why does it stand out? Because the whole place is very silent and everyone is doing prayer to Ambal. In this situation, Ambal is suddenly getting up, seeing her husband and is running towards him. Only these servants are making these statements and only these statements are heard and they are standing out. So some of the most important points that we have to take from this shloka are: 1. All devatas are doing namaskara or doing puja to Ambal. We know this not only from this shloka, but from many other shlokas we have seen this. This is not an everyday occasion, but it is something special, and Parameshwara has gone out and is coming back in this situation. And during this time, Ambal, due to her pativrata dharmam, gets up hurriedly from her throne and runs towards Parameshwara. The many groups of servants of Ambal, they are with lot of care and concern that the lotus feet of Ambal, which is so soft and so delicate, might get hurt if she trips on the crowns of all these devatas who are doing namaskara to Ambal. And the whole place is fully surrounded by those words of concern and care of these servants. As said earlier, this is a dramatic effect that has been provided by Acharyal for us to imagine and understand and enjoy this shloka. That is why in the beginning itself, the shloka is starting with the words which are like warnings to be careful, to not get hurt, etc. This will make the reader think as to what and why all these words are being used and make us more inquisitive. From this shloka, we importantly learn the pativrata dharmam that is upheld by Ambal during any situation. Let us finish the shloka by reciting it once. Kiritam vairincham parihara puraha kaita babitaha kathore kotire skhalasi jahi jambhari makutam pranamreshveteshu prasabhamupayatasya bhavanam bhavasyabhyuttane tava parijanoktir vijayate. Periva Sharanam.